very brief and short presentation on my adventurous journey. By the time they get it there, I would want to introduce myself. My name is Rajiee M Shinde. I am the CEO of Mehar Media. I've launched music labels, and I have the good part about this session is that I'm from Chandigarh too, and I'm very happy to be here to discuss and to share my journey of media. So a small brief about myself. I was a classical dancer. I've been born and brought up in Chandigarh, and my whole sole aim in life was, I thought my career was going to be classical dancing. Until once I joined college, my father brought me back from college, and he told me that by the time you finish your graduation, I would want you to move out of Chandigarh. That was quite shocking for me because I was the only child. In those days it was quite unusual for a father to say that you need to move out of the city and choose any city you want, because I don't know, has anything like that happened with anyone here where the father has asked you guys to move out of after graduation? Has it happened ever with anybody? Yes? No. Okay. So yeah, it was quite shocking for me and my mother, because she didn't understand why would he want me to move to another city, and that was not it. The other part of the deal was that he will fund me for 6 months of... Yeah.
And you have the remote.
Okay. And how do I go?
Just here.
Yeah.
Or you can tell us.
Yeah, you can go to the next slide. So the next part of the deal was that he would fund me for 6 months, and post that I would have to fund myself. And after my mother asked that question to him, his answer was that I want her to be independent. I want her to understand the hardships of life and to ensure that she is standing on her own feet, because we are not going to be there forever, and she needs to understand and value life. Well, I thought this won't actually happen. He's just told me like that, and after 3 years. But no, it wasn't the case. He remembered his part of the deal. And so at that point of time, after I finished my graduation, I chose Delhi as the city to go, because I was already an established classical dancer. I was performing all across the world and India. And I moved to Delhi. After I moved to Delhi, I thought my father would lease out an apartment for me, but that was not it. He insisted for 1 year I stay in a hostel. Chandigarh girl coming with all the luxuries, going and staying in a hostel where there is no cooler, there's no air condition. It was honestly very tough, and it was quite frustrating for me. We had to, me and my roommate, we had to pour water on the bed so that it remained cold in the night. And it was honestly very, very tough, and I was somewhere initially very angry about it. It took him 1 year to give me an apartment, which was only 1-bedroom apartment, and he insisted that I cook on my own. There won't be any help which would be given. Once I reached Delhi, I realized classical dancing, or the platforms were not there enough which had a sort of a revenue system. And I knew that what I wanted for life and from life, and what kind of luxuries I wanted, or how did I want my lifestyle to be. And it so happened that I told my parents I would need to think about another career. And it so happened that I saw an ad in the newspaper, and there was a TV channel they had advertised for a programming executive. And I went in and applied, and I got the job. Once I went there, I realized that I really, really enjoyed my work there. We can go to the next slide. So that's the time when I realized my passion for media. And just a brief, when I go to the next slide, these are the channels that I've launched. And I've always launched channels which are number one. There's no place for number two. Now, this was the story that I was talking about, my journey from Chandigarh to Delhi, how I stepped into the world of media. And my second job in media was in home TV. It was a channel which was launched by the Hindustan Times group. I was very happy about it because by that time I realized what were my pluses. I was a creative person. I wanted to create content, and at the same time I wanted to head sales and get revenue for the channel. Unfortunately for me, I landed up in the technical department. I was trained by Carlton TV, UK. And that wasn't something which I really wanted. I wanted to create content like programming department. I wanted to create shows. I wanted to create events. I kept on pursuing with my seniors that I want to join, and they kept telling me that we will do it, but it never happened. And I quietly went through the whole process. There were times when I would come back home and be in tears that I wasn't liking what I was doing. But at the same time, I was being trained to how to launch a channel or any media platform to the finish, how to run sales, business, revenue model, business plan, everything about it. And my husband at that time, my fiance, told me that that's one thing which he told me which I will never ever forget in my life, because it's the fact that no learning goes waste. At that time, it didn't seem like that at all. I just every day prayed to God. The next day, I will go to the channel and they tell me, we have moved you to the creative department. It never happened. I worked hard. I became the head of promos at that time, and it was creative. So I was happy with that. After that, Sahara took over home TV, and it was all about news television. I was there, but I was still wanted to make creative shows and events and run the business. And it so happened that there was a channel which was going to be getting launched. Next slide. The first ever Punjabi satellite channel. A lot of people are not aware of this, but this channel was the first satellite channel to air Gurbani from Golden Temple. When I joined that channel, and I got the job because I came from a national channel, and also the fact that I could read and write Gurmukhi. I became the content head, and I realized that in that company there were only limited people who had some knowledge about running a TV channel or making shows. So my entire learning from home TV helped me so much. That's why I say that no learning goes to waste. And that's when I launched the first ever Punjabi channel. And it was a satellite channel. And from start to finish, it was all handled by me, and it was very exciting. This journey of Punjabi world also taught me one thing. This was my first connection with the music industry. This is something which I really want to share here. We all know that Punjabi music industry has grown very big, and it's the third largest industry right now. The most important thing was in Punjabi world was the first channel to start a revenue system of music business. Prior to that, it never happened. When I saw the artist, they had only one channel to look upon. Their shows, their songs were only played on DD Punjabi and DD Jalandhar. And this was the first satellite channel. Now the difference between DD Punjabi and the first satellite channel is the footprint. DD Punjabi, DD Jalandhar could only be seen in India. But the satellite channel could be seen in Asia as well. And that's where the artist got an opportunity to showcase their music outside India. And that's when I connected to artists, I connected to music label, and I knew how important it was for them. It was not just for their events, but they wanted to go out of country. They wanted to get visas from the embassies where they could show that my songs have run on a TV channel and I can go out. And that's where I found a revenue system. I told them I will run their songs free of cost, but you have to pay for the promos. And they did it. They used to literally carry cash and they used to come and pay for it. And that's when the first ever Punjabi music business revenue started. My second channel that I launched was the first ever Punjabi music channel called ETC Channel Punjabi. Now from the journey of Punjabi world to ETC Channel Punjabi, there were 3 more channels which were launched. Lishkara, Alpha Punjabi, which was Z Punjabi at that time. Z Punjabi was called Alpha Punjabi from Z Group. And then there was another channel called Tara Punjabi. With all these channels, I was asked to design a new one. And I designed the first ever Punjabi music channel primarily because I felt this was going to get us revenue through music business. Our costs are going to be low because the content is going to come from the artist, and at the same time we will be getting monies. One more important thing that I always have in mind, and we all know that today, I'll give you that example. I wanted to give more than a television channel. I did not want to just give a TV channel which was showcasing programs made in the studio. I wanted a ground connect with people. So that's where I started the model of content where we would do events, ground events every month. The thought was we are not going to make only studio shows, we are going to go right into our audience. Give more than television. The way Apple or any smartphone gives us more than just calling and texting. So ETC Channel Punjabi became #1 very quickly, and we had Gurbani rights, and we were doing events, almost 15 events, and that to live events every year. This gave a big push to Punjabi music industry. Now the footprint of ETC Channel Punjabi had increased. There were events. We gave a 360-degree solution to a music label and an artist. They were being promoted, they were being seen, and they had ground events. From here on, where an artist would charge something like 20,000 rupees for an event, it started increasing to lakhs, and the entire industry grew because now even Bollywood started noticing them. And Bollywood started noticing, films started getting promoted in all this time. Can we go to the next slide? Now one of the most pressurizing situations of the media industry is you have to keep creating. You have to keep the advertiser engaged. You have to make the same advertiser increase his monies year after year. Your ER, which is called effective rate, has to keep increasing. And that's when I decided to launch new IPs. The first IP was the first ever Punjabi Music Awards. I saw that Bollywood was doing multiple events, awards, but there wasn't any for the Punjabi language. And that's where in 2004, the first Punjabi Music Awards was created. And mind you guys, I was 7 months pregnant at that time, and I'll come to the woman power later. And we did a 7-hour music awards ceremony. The second, what I created was the first ever Punjabi Film Awards. Now, from the singers, the artists started becoming actors, the whole industry, the monies that was, the pie of Punjabi cinema was growing. And how did it grow and why? It grew because of 2 major things. One, a ground connect, and second, an exposure. There was a media, there was a television channel, there was a platform which was telling the Punjabi audience that there is a film coming, there is a song coming. And mind you, there were no YouTube at that time. Channels were the only way to see movies or songs. There was no YouTube, there was no Spotify at that time. After that, what I thought was, when I saw the singing talent of Punjab, to create a Voice of Punjab, a singing talent reality show. And then the shows started going on. Can we go to the next slide? The first beauty pageant for Punjabi girls by a TV channel was also created. This gave a lot of opportunities and bridged the gap between Punjab and Bollywood. So quite a few of our winners have gone to Big Boss. Quite a few winners have got opportunity of acting in Zee TV serials and other platforms. Post this, I got an opportunity to launch a national channel, a national music channel. We already had 14 to 15 national TV channels, and this was going to be the 16th national channel. The thing that I want to say here is that it is very important that you determine your talent. If you think that you have your talent, you know you can do it. Your motivation is the key which will tell you how far you can go with it. And your entire hard work, your attribute to it is what is going to take you far. National channel called Showbox became the #1 national music channel. Can we go to the next slide? Here I'm coming to the fact that I see a lot of women here, and I just have a few questions. That did you ever face anything while working in a company or trying to be a founder or an investor? Did you feel any kind of obstacles coming in your life when you were at work or anywhere? Yes? I think no matter what high position you have in a company, as a woman you still face a lot of problems. I have done that too at various companies at various stage. But what I feel is, despite the fact that you face the obstacles and all, a woman is somebody who does not want to be sounding pitiful, or she will go to a person and try to give the story or anything like that, like she just said, right? So no woman, I feel, would want to create a sob story or do. She would stand there and deal with it. And in my entire career, I've seen women not pointing fingers at people. And that's where I feel a strong woman is. A strong woman is who stands right there and does not point fingers and deals with the situation.